monument is for the liberation of Sicily from the Germans by the Allies. That's the monument on your left. It was in 1992.
The Temple of Segesta is a reminder that centuries before Sicily was Norman or Arab, it was Greek. In fact, 400 years before Christ, the island was dotted with evocative Doric temples. Segesta, with its harmonious lines and ideal beauty accentuated by a pristine natural setting, is one of the best preserved anywhere. In ancient Greece, first sons generally got the land. When tough times hit, Greek society basically told second sons, go west. And west was Sicily. This was their land of opportunity. They came here and created a new, greater Greece.
What does it mean, capital? Caput in Latin, head. At the head of the column, a capital with a big square block sticking out. It's called the abacus, and a square stone called the echinus. The two stones, it's only one, carving two, but that's called Doric style. You will never see here any Ionian or Corinthian capitals in the Greek age. If you can find them in Sicily, they all belong to the Roman age. Romans, centuries after the Greeks adopted also the Ionian and Corinthian style, right? This is Doric. The other thing, if you look from this point, exactly where you are from me, with me here, it was begun, it was built to that point, but never completed, never. You're going to see this lecture tomorrow in Agrigento. You probably know that. In Greece, and this was in Greece, right? So all Greek people originally from Corinth, Megara, Rhodes, Crete, Greek colonies in eastern Sicily. This is one of my pictures, and you can see that, and you probably know that. Temples in the antiquity were not planned for you and me. No. The only people allowed inside were priests and priestesses. People like you and me were not allowed into the temple. People were standing, like in my picture, all around a sacrificial altar, all right? There was always, in front of each temple, eastern side, east, life, sunrise for the Greeks. This is the facade, east-west, all right? Back is west, the underworld. For the Greeks, this was the facade. All in front of the facade, there was always a long platform of stone with some steps along the sides, where people used to gather to sacrifice animals, slaughter goats, sheep, even bulls, in praise of Zeus or Jupiter. This is it. So people would stand outside around the sacrificial altar. Can you see any of these stones that probably belong to the altar in front of us now? Nothing. Not one stone from that altar. Nothing. The other thing, look at the columns, please, now. Limestone, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the first column. Some other columns consist of 11 thinner drums. Some others of thicker and 8 drums. All columns in the Doric style consist of drums, and not only, even the Ionian, in the Corinthian, but something is missing. That's why I need this picture. When all column drums were going to be put in place, in set, see, one above the other, those flutings at the end with the chisels, bronze tools, slaves, all right, there was a lot of slaves in those centuries, war prisoners in particular, standing on scaffoldings. We're going to see some of the pictures this afternoon in Salinote, but look at that. They would have cut all the columns from the top to the end with 20 vertical grooves or flutings, like in this picture. Can you see them here? Can you see them on those drums in front of you? I don't think so. These are all smooth drums with not one fluting, and these were all decorate, see, flutings. And the other thing is the colors. Look at the stone. This is not granite. This is not marble. We do have a lot of marble in Sicily, marble quarries. The Romans later found the first marble quarries. But look at the erosion. Look at the winds today. It was necessary to protect all these fabulous Greek temples in Sicily, and we found those colors with red, blue, yellow ochre and white stuccos. We're going to see the stucco this afternoon on certain column drums. Look how polychrome they were. They were all multicolored. Don't think they were left like this. There was a very thick layer of multicolored stuccos, all put in what was the temple? Columns, the architrave, it was all polychrome. So it's very hard today to, imagine these temples in the antiquity. This is one of my pictures. This is not the end. Graves of war prisoners. They needed to carry the stone from 8-9 kilometers from here. There were no unions, in those centuries. No strikes, no glass of wine. Can you imagine how hard life was for these poor people? They probably died. See what the temples. It takes an average a century for a temple to be completed, and this was never completed. But look at that. When the poor slaves needed to carry from those quarries, those round drums, with the oxen-driven carts, with the ropes, with all these laborers, it was a little easier because these are like wheels, so it's round, it's a little better. But think of the weight of those steps, please. Look at the weight of those architraves, those huge rectangular blocks, up on top there. Coals and flutings, that's why they're here. It was never finished. And the other very, do you see that in the back there? Yes? This is it. The other very interesting, kind of engineering used by the Greeks is this. Those were also used for the ropes. Yes, ropes made of a plant called the sisal. That looks like our agaves, the sisal. Yes, sisal existed here. Very strong ropes, all fibers, natural fibers. If you put them in the sun for hours and you want to break that fiber, you break your finger. It's so hard, it's so strong. It's about the same kind of agaves or cactuses that you saw on the way with me a few minutes ago. This is it. Very clever. Ropes, sisal ropes, were turned, put around, fixed around those bosses, all right? And with the big pulleys, I'm going to show this other engineering this afternoon, they were lifted up, with the ropes along the sides, and put exactly there. For example, the upper parts. This is it. So they were also used for the ropes, fixed one on one side, one on the opposite side of these bosses of stone. And that's really clever if you think of the poor means of poor technology, that they had in those centuries. It's still work in progress. It was never finished. That's why you can still see that. You will never see that in a finished temple. Never. Even the Parthenon or other big temples, you never see that. Absolutely. Look at the number of ferry boats and hydrofoils and tourists. That's one of the most important ports, you see, in Western Sicily, in front of 3 islands. Now if you look after the coach here, you can see in front of us 3 mountains in the sea. Those are the Egadi, E-G-A-D-I islands, not the Aeolian, no Stromboli, no Lipari, no, these are the Egadi islands, and that's why so many
of these smaller and bigger ships. 3 times in the week, there is also a direct connection to Tunis. You spend 14 hours on board. 14 hours is the navigation from Trapani to Tunis. This is somebody very famous. Ilona! Lo so chi è. I know who they are. These people come from Kuwait. I know who they are. Ilona is the yacht of a very, very famous man. He was in Palermo 2 days ago. That's why I know the story, because my colleague Marina
all belong to Apollon temple. They found 5 other temples all around that area, where they found also the Agora, which was the main square in all Greek towns. So 5 plus 3. They calculate 8 temples in this very flourishing, very powerful Greek colony. Yes, this is now the Greek territories, called the Selinon. Now, this in some books is called E, Temple E. Temple F in the middle, Temple G, all right? That temple of Apollon C, then there is A, O, B, and Y. These are all the letters. Why? Because in the beginning, they didn't know any. It was very important to find colonies by the rivers, right? Larger than today. We found the springs of the 2 rivers. They look like small streams nowadays. There was a huge quantity of stone quarry, and I found them here in my book, because, you know, they were lucky in this country. About 11 kilometers, not around the corner, 11 kilometers. They found 2 very important stone quarries with 2 different kind of limestones. In fact, if you look at these temples in front of you, this one is almost pinkish orange color, if you look at the columns, as petrified trees, like big trunks. This woods, the nature, was the inspiration for the first temples. They started with wood, then they chose, of course, a more solid, of course, material, the stone. In the very beginning, all temples also in Sicily consisted of only one huge piece of stone called the monolithic columns. That's where they found them. They're still there, in the bigger quarry, 11 kilometers from Selinunte. Then the other thing I think is very important. Here we are at the border between the Carthaginians, western Sicily, that's where we were this morning, remember, Segesta, and the beginning of the Greek colonies. You're going to Agrigento without me in a few minutes. Agrigento is, well, by car it takes almost 2 hours. 6 frontal columns, all right, by 15. That's another good number. We saw 14 this morning. It's 15.